How much should you be sleeping as an engineer or technical person? That's a pretty insightful question that I was recently asked, and I really think it's very personal. I, for one, have gone down the rabbit hole. I am into Garmin watches. It's not a sponsored video, but I've had a Garmin watch for several years. I wear it all the time. It allows me to see lots of health stats, to know how I'm sleeping, how much energy I have. It gives you a battery score, and I can tell within about 5% where I'm at because I've been wearing the watch long enough, and I know how well I can sleep and not sleep. I would say when it comes to how much sleep you should be getting, this is very dependent on your lifestyle, your work-life balance, and that balance is a verb. It is not a noun. You do not achieve work-life balance. You are balancing. It should be an active verb where you are balancing all the time. And there's some times where you just need to be on that grind and you're going to be burning the midnight oil and you won't be sleeping nearly as much as your body wants. Now, that's something that you can do. It should not be done for super extended long periods of time, in my opinion, especially if you need to have very high mental faculties when you're at work. My opinion about how much sleep an engineer should be getting is purely based on, are they active? I know I, for one, I'm hitting the gym 3 or 4 times a week. I want to sleep probably 8 hours a night. I'm happy if I can hit 8. Less than 8's not as good, obviously. More than 8 kind of makes me groggier. So it's like 8 seems to be pretty good for me. But again, I've been monitoring this, looking at the data, figuring out the stats, figuring out how I'm feeling, doing all this stuff for years to figure this out. Now, I've met some people that are absolute monsters, in my opinion, that can sleep for 2 hours a night just forever. And is that you? Have you been checking in on yourself to see where you're at? That's the question that I would say back to anyone asking how much sleep you should be getting, because I know if I get maybe less than 6 hours of sleep, I won't be able to perform my job very well because I'm going to be at work and my brain's not going to be firing on all cylinders. It's kind of like you're kind of starving your brain of fuel, and your brain needs a lot of fuel for it to be able to do all the higher level thinking that you need to do at a more technical job. So I would say engineers probably need a bit more sleep than most, but it also really depends on what role you have too, right? So it's an incredibly nuanced response. And I think my core response would be that you need to figure this out for yourself. So you need to iterate, you need to adjust your sleep environment. So that's a really important thing. A better sleep environment will put you in a better spot to get more quality sleep in less time. I know I went through, and again, this is not a sponsored video, so I won't say what brand it is, but I bought a water cooler for a portion of my bed, which helps the temperature be at a very specific temperature for sleeping, which is about maybe 68 Fahrenheit, 21 Celsius. So that's what my bed is set at all the time, every single night. It's very helpful in the summer times because I don't have to cool the room down as much. I can just have the bed cold and then put a blanket over me and keep me safe from the nice warm room, which sounds pretty crazy when you say it out loud, but it's super effective for me. And again, I have data coming off this watch to support this. This is something where I've been iterating. I have the data. I've done a little bit of stats to look at, okay, what sort of time it gives me a sleep score. I can look at my pulse. I can look at heart rate variability, all sorts of things to determine how good your sleep is. And so I would say find some tools, start recording things, start seeing how you're feeling. Maybe this is something you can put in with your EQ daily emotional journaling. That's where I actually started with figuring out how my sleep was going, is trying to figure out how my emotions were during the day. Because when I first thought about it, why would you be good at these things without ever trying these things before? Like, it's just an insane situation where people think that they're going to be masterful at any new thing they try the first time they do it. Like, that's just doesn't make any sense. And it's the same thing when it comes to sleep. So have you been trying to figure out how to make your sleep better? Are you just going through life and just kind of, woe is me, I wish things were better? Or have you been trying to improve the system to help you sleep better. I know I, for one, am very into a thing for my computer called Flux, and it turns my monitors yellow. So sometimes when I record videos, I forget to turn it off and I'm recording at night. So if you see yellowed monitors behind me, it's because Flux has turned them closer to candlelight, because that helps you get to sleep better. And it's the same kind of thing where I try to not use my phone too close to bedtime, and I make sure that the blue light filter, which Android has by default, is enabled in the evenings. And that's just lots of little things you can do to try to calm your brain down. My last thing I would say as a system to improve your sleep is to have a notepad or some sort of to-do list next to your bed. So if you have anything that you're thinking of, that you're dwelling on, that's keeping you from having the most restful sleep you can, write it down. Get it out of your head, get it onto some paper, get it into Trello or whatever to-do list thing you like, and from there, you can rest easy. You don't have to try to remember anything until the morning. It's very easy. And this has helped me actually a huge amount, because now I know if there's anything I need to put on a list, it's already on the list and I don't have to think about it, and I can sleep much easier. So I've just smashed through quite a few things here. What sort of stuff have you used to improve your sleep? Chuck me a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you do, because I'm always eager to learn how people improve their sleep. We'll see you next time.